For many students across South Africa, using public transport isn't a choice. It's a daily necessity. Whether it's catching a minibus taxi or taking a train, thousands of students rely on these services to get to class or part-time jobs. But the journey isn't always easy. High fares, frequent delays, overcrowded taxis, and safety concerns, especially when traveling at night, make commuting stressful. This feature explores these challenges through student experiences, expert insights, and cost comparisons to answer an important question. Which public transport option truly works better for students, train or taxis? It's important to focus on public transport, which includes shared, paid systems like taxis, buses, and trains that are available to the general public. This excludes private cars or lift clubs. By narrowing in on public transport, this story highlights the systemic issues that affect large numbers of students, like fare hikes, infrastructure gaps, and inconsistent service. The goal is to give a voice to students who depend on these systems daily and often face challenges beyond their control. Biases that influence the story idea. 1. Personal bias, experience-driven bias. Many BMH students experience public transport frustrations, making this story feel personal and relevant. There's an assumption that students are more impacted by delays and fares, especially when it affects their education and mental health. The belief that public transport should be tailored to student needs, safe, affordable, and efficient, shaped the direction of the piece. Second, social bias, societal influence. Public perception in South Africa is that public transport is unreliable. There's a belief that student voices are overlooked in transport policy discussions. Concerns around safety, especially gender-based violence and robbery, push this issue further into the spotlight. Third, economic bias, financial considerations. Public transport costs are rising, and students often have limited income or depend on allowances. Comparing taxi and train fares reveals how transport choices affect student budgets. There's a belief that student discounts or subsidies could greatly ease financial strain. News values that influenced the story, Idea 1. Impact public transport directly affects students' academic performance and financial well-being. Late arrivals and costly fares can lead to missed lectures or reduced income. 2. Proximity. This is a local issue affecting Gauteng students, especially those in Sandton, Johannesburg, and Pretoria, making it immediately relevant. 3. Timeliness. With the academic year underway and fair discussions in the media, the timing is perfect. Recent news around transport safety and fare adds urgency to the topic. 4. Human interest. First-hand student stories make the article relatable and emotional. Readers connect with the stress and struggle behind each daily commute. 5. Conflict Gautrain's speed and safety versus the affordability and unpredictability of taxis creates a natural comparison. There's tension between what students need and what the system currently offers. How this article will act on society, based on Nell, 2005, 1. Public advocacy. The article informs students and empowers them to make better transport decisions. By highlighting these challenges, it may pressure policymakers, transport companies, or even universities to offer better support, like subsidies, shuttle services, or safety patrols. 2. Agenda setting. By giving students a platform, the story adds their voices to the wider conversation on transport reform. It can influence public discussions, policy forums, and media agendas, pushing for student-centered solutions. How this article will act on society, Nell, 2005 Media Theories, 1. Public advocacy, informing and empowering audiences. The article gives students tools to make informed transport decisions. By highlighting their struggles, it encourages stakeholders, like university management, government, and transport companies, to consider students in planning and pricing. It could lead to more pressure for solutions like subsidies, safer routes, or student-oriented schedules. 2. Agenda setting, shaping public discussion. When student transport concerns are made visible in the media, it forces institutions and transport providers to acknowledge and prioritize them. The story becomes part of a bigger conversation on transport reform and urban planning. It gives legitimacy to student voices in public debates about accessibility, infrastructure, and service quality.